Echoes in the downpour. The relentless beat of rain against the windows echoed through the empty corridors of St. Martin's Medical Center. Jenna, a nurse on the night shift, found herself alone in the eerie stillness of the hospital. It was a stormy night, and the flickering lights cast long shadows that seemed to dance with every gust of wind. Little did Jenna know that this rainy night shift would turn into a nightmarish experience. As Jenna made her rounds, the creaking of the old building intensified with each step she took. The sound of footsteps echoed behind her, sending a chill down her spine. She turned around, but there was no one in sight. Brushing it off as her imagination playing tricks on her, Jenna continued her duties. The hum of the flickering fluorescent lights seemed to harmonize with the distant rumble of thunder, creating an unsettling symphony. As Jenna entered the deserted children's ward, she felt an inexplicable heaviness in the air. The laughter of children, long gone, echoed in her ears, making her uneasy. In one of the rooms, Jenna noticed a flickering light. She cautiously approached, discovering an old television that turned on by itself. The screen displayed static, occasionally interrupted by ghostly images of children playing. The room felt colder, as if the very essence of the past lingered in the air. Attempting to shake off the eerie feeling, Jenna hurried to the nurse's station. The once well-lit area now seemed dim, shadows creeping along the walls. The computer screens flickered, displaying patient records that seemed to morph into distorted faces. Jenna's heart raced as she tried to make sense of the supernatural occurrences around her. Suddenly, a child's laughter echoed through the hallway. This time, Jenna couldn't dismiss it as her imagination. She followed the sound, finding herself in the abandoned pediatric playroom. The flickering lights revealed forgotten toys scattered across the floor. As Jenna gazed around, a shadowy figure emerged from the darkness, resembling a little girl in a tattered hospital gown. The ghostly child extended her hand towards Jenna, her eyes hollow and filled with sorrow. Jenna, paralyzed by fear, could only watch as the apparition whispered words that seemed to be carried by the howling wind outside. The child's voice spoke of pain, loss, and the tormented souls trapped within the hospital's walls. In a panic, Jenna fled from the haunted playroom, her footsteps echoing through the empty corridors. The rain outside intensified, mirroring the turmoil within the hospital. As she reached the exit, a sudden blackout plunged the building into darkness. Alone in the pitch-black hospital, Jenna felt a presence closing in on her. Whispers surrounded her, pleading for release from the eternal torment. The rainy night shift that began as routine turned into a night of horror. The haunting symphony of midnight rain. Sarah, a security guard, found herself reluctantly working the night shift at the historic Blackwood Library. As the clock struck midnight, a torrential rainstorm began, drumming on the library's ancient roof like a haunting symphony. Little did Sarah know that the rainy night shift would unravel a sinister tale hidden within the walls of the library. The library, with its labyrinthine corridors and towering shelves of ancient tomes, exuded an otherworldly atmosphere. As Sarah patrolled the dimly lit aisles, she felt the gaze of unseen eyes following her every move. The pitter-patter of raindrops on the windows seemed to synchronize with the eerie whispers that echoed through the silent halls. In the rare manuscript section, Sarah noticed an old book open on a pedestal, pages flipping as if by an invisible hand. The flickering candlelight cast eerie shadows on the pages, revealing an ancient incantation written in a language she couldn't comprehend. Unsettled, she closed the book, only to hear a distant, ghostly laughter echoing through the stacks. Ignoring the growing unease, Sarah continued her rounds. In the reading room, she stumbled upon an old piano covered in a dusty cloth. The rain outside intensified, creating a dissonant melody with the occasional thunderclap. Against her better judgment, Sarah unveiled the piano and hesitantly played a few notes. To her surprise, the piano responded with a haunting tune, as if played by invisible hands. The room filled with a spectral ambience, and the rain outside seemed to dance to the eerie melody. Sarah, mesmerized and terrified, realized that the music emanated from the ghostly presence within the library. As the melody reached a crescendo, the shadows in the room coalesced into ghostly figures from different eras. Each apparition carried the weight of untold stories, their eyes pleading for release. Sarah, paralyzed by the supernatural spectacle, felt a cold hand on her shoulder. A spectral librarian, with hollow eyes, whispered ancient secrets into her ear. The ghosts revealed a dark history of forbidden knowledge and a curse that bound them to the library. Sarah, the unwitting audience to their spectral confessions, now held the key to their salvation. The rainy night, with its haunting symphony, had become a battleground between the living and the dead. Driven by a newfound purpose, Sarah delved into the library's archives, seeking the means to break the curse. The rain outside intensified, mirroring the rising tension within the ancient walls. As the first light of dawn broke through the windows, Sarah uncovered a forgotten ritual that could free the trapped souls. With the echoes of the midnight rain still lingering, Sarah performed the ritual, breaking the curse that bound the library's ghosts. As the last note of the haunting symphony faded, the spirits peacefully dissipated, leaving behind a tranquil and rain-soaked library. The next morning, as the sun rose and the rain ceased, Sarah emerged from the Blackwood Library, forever changed by the spectral encounter of the rainy night shift. The ancient building, now freed from its haunted history, stood in silence, with only the fading echoes of a midnight rain and the whispers of the past. Shadows in the storm. Amelia, a young research assistant, found herself alone in the desolate archives of the Weatherford mansion on a stormy night. The rain beat against the mansion's tall windows like an incessant drum, creating an unsettling backdrop for the task at hand. Little did Amelia know that the rain-soaked night shift would unveil a chilling secret that had long been forgotten. As she sifted through dusty records and weathered journals, the flickering candlelight cast eerie shadows on the aging wallpaper. The mansion, once grand and opulent, now seemed to harbor a mysterious energy. The creaking floorboards and distant thunder added to the uneasy atmosphere as Amelia delved deeper into the archives. Amelia stumbled upon an old journal that detailed a series of bizarre weather phenomena that plagued the mansion in the late 19th century. Intrigued, she read about unexplained storms, thunder that seemed to speak in riddles, and shadows that danced with a life of their own. The author, a previous resident of the mansion, documented a growing unease and a sense of impending doom. As the rain outside intensified, Amelia noticed a peculiar entry in the journal, describing a hidden chamber beneath the mansion that supposedly held the key to controlling the ominous weather. Driven by curiosity and a growing sense of dread, Amelia set out to unravel the mansion's chilling secret. Armed with a flickering lantern, Amelia navigated the mansion's labyrinthine corridors. The air grew colder as she descended a narrow staircase leading to the hidden chamber. The sound of rain echoed through the stone walls, creating an eerie symphony that seemed to guide her deeper into the mansion's secrets. In the dimly lit chamber, Amelia discovered an ancient contraption surrounded by symbols and mysterious glyphs. As she approached, the shadows on the walls seemed to come alive, swirling and converging into ominous shapes. The rain outside beat against the mansion's foundation like a malevolent drum. Amelia, determined to uncover the truth, deciphered the symbols and activated the long-forgotten device. As she did, the mansion trembled, and the storm outside intensified to an otherworldly level. The shadows in the chamber twisted and contorted, taking on sinister forms that seemed to reach out for her. Panicking, Amelia realized that the mansion itself was alive with a malevolent force. The shadows coalesced into a dark figure, whispering ancient incantations that echoed with the fury of the storm. The rain outside lashed against the windows as the mansion unleashed its supernatural power. In a desperate attempt to escape, Amelia raced through the corridors, pursued by the shadows that seemed to hunger for her soul. The mansion itself seemed to be alive with malevolence, the storm raging in tandem with the sinister force unleashed by the hidden chamber. As Amelia reached the front door, the storm outside reached its climax. Lightning illuminated the mansion's facade, revealing grotesque faces within the raindrops. With a final burst of energy, Amelia flung open the door, escaping into the drenched night. The moment she stepped outside, the storm ceased abruptly. The rain-soaked mansion stood silent, as if it had never harbored the dark secret within. Amelia, shaken and soaked, watched as the first light of dawn broke through the retreating clouds. The Weatherford mansion, once shrouded in mystery, now stood as a silent witness to the horrors of that stormy night shift.